also want to, as I transition, we're going to be welcoming our relatives from Palestine. Now, when the American Indian Movement started the International Indigenous Treaty Council, they opened an office in New York City. And it was the Palestinian Liberation Organization that were the only ones that supported the American Indian Movement. They were the only ones that supported indigenous peoples on this side of the hemisphere. And so it's really an honor that we have our Palestinian relatives here. And I want to welcome Abdullah, and I think there's also a poet that they're going to be sharing with us as well. So.
Hey guys, can y'all hear me out there? Yeah. How are we feeling, guys? Yeah. Alright, my name is Abdullah and I'm from Gaza. Before I get started, the first thing I want to do is extend my gratitude to the native community for allowing us to be guests on their land and in their struggle. Remember, if you are not native, you are a guest here at best. Do not forget that. It is a true honor to walk among you and share in this incredible tradition. I think it's so important to have events like this and nights like these where we share our ideas and our struggles. And although the struggles of colonized people around the world might look a little bit different from one another, there is one common factor across them all, and that is the land itself. This fight is nothing if not for the land that we stand on and that our ancestors stood on and that many future generations will stand on as well. One thing that gets me is when I hear the phrase land back, and people say land back like it's just a thing to say or like it's just a metaphor, but it's not. Land back means land back. It doesn't mean housing permits, it doesn't mean tax breaks, it doesn't mean memorials. It means give us our shit back. You know, these days you hear a lot about like environmentalism and green initiatives and stuff. And I think that is very important because the earth is in a very dire situation right now. But I actually believe land back to be an environmental issue. You know, when these colonizers came to our lands, they didn't just brutalize our people, they brutalized the land. They have no love, they have no respect for the land. To them, the land is just another wild, savage thing for them to tame. To them, there is no concept of a symbiotic relationship. It's just take and take and take. That is the colonizer mentality.
Invasive species!
That's right. In Palestine, the Israeli occupiers so often and so proudly say that they made the desert bloom. Never mind the beautiful orange groves of Jaffa. Never mind the fact that Palestine was a major exporter of things like wheat, barley, sesame, olive oil. Or the fact that for centuries, that land had been written about in texts the world over as one of the most fertile parts of a place that was literally called the Fertile Crescent. No, never mind all that. I personally take offense to it because my grandfather was a farmer in Palestine, and it was something that he was so proud of. And it makes my blood boil to see them try to erase my family's history, when in fact they had no idea what they were doing when it came to cultivating the land that they stole. They showed up with heavy, bulky machines and thought this made them benevolent beings, bringing their technology to an uncivilized people, when in fact their Eurocentric farming practices were ineffective when used in Palestine. And it was only when they begrudgingly used the techniques that they learned from Palestinian farmers that they finally were able to till the land. So no, they didn't make the desert bloom. As a matter of fact, they did quite the opposite. Just like how they uprooted generations of families and replaced them with European people, they also uprooted generations of plants and replaced them with European plants. And we're just now starting to see the effects of that. This summer there were massive wildfires around Palestine, and they were caused by the European pines that were planted there by the European colonizers. So this is the earth fighting back against them and letting them know that they do not belong here. This idea of using environmentalism to distract from evil practices is something that America does too here. And it's something that's been dubbed greenwashing. And it's a cornerstone of Israeli propaganda. For example, the Israeli military boasts about how it provides some of its soldiers with uniforms that are free of animal products. So it's like they're blowing up hospitals and they're murdering children, but it's cool because they got vegan boots on. Can't wrap my head around it yet. Now all these examples that I gave, there are so many parallels that we can draw here to Turtle Island. Europeans showing up with their practices and technology that they thought were superior, only to end up starving without the help of the indigenous population. Destroying the land and wiping out everything on it, such as the endless herd of buffalo with their insatiable appetite for theft and destruction. Which, by the way, that was a deliberate effort by the U.S. Army. So when you see that picture with all those buffalo skulls and whatever they tell us in the textbooks, like some cowboys got carried away. No, that was directed colonial violence designed to starve the indigenous population. Folks, our struggles are much more similar than they are different. And it's past time that we realize that. I really do love nights like these, where I see so many different people from so many different places coming together to share not just a mutual respect, but a mutual love for each other. Spaces like these truly make me believe that liberation is attainable. Not just attainable, but attainable in our lifetimes. I'm gonna wrap up here, I promise. I'm gonna go back to what I opened with. If there's anything that I want you all to take away tonight, it is the idea of land back. It is not just a saying. Land back is an ideology. Land back is a way of life. Land back is a responsibility. Land back is a demand. This is something that we should carry into our lives and everything that we do. Decolonize your language. Decolonize your lives. Decolonize your minds. Don't just let this be a thing that you do when you see a Facebook event. Carry this into your lives. Let this be your philosophy. And land back means land back everywhere. Here on Turtle Island, up north in Canada, in Australia, in South Africa, in Tigray, and in Palestine. Land back! Again, I just want to thank our Native relatives. Thank you all so much for inviting us into your space. We really are nothing without you, and we stand on your shoulders in our struggle. So free Turtle Island, free Tigray, and free Palestine. And then we do have a poet from our community. She's going to come and share a piece with you guys. Give it up for Leanne, everybody.
And I am a Palestinian that is 10 years old. This is my poem. I remember a land that was beautiful, a land that people valued, a land that was worth millions, a land where Alexa stood like glorious gold in the sky, a land where olive trees have grown for millions of years, a land that taught peace. But the trauma of the bombs, the soil soaked with blood, rivers filled with tears. If only my homeland returned to a beautiful place. If only my homeland returned to Palestine.